Now, after Peter Obi's 2023 attempt to harness people power in Nigeria to change the political direction of this country and nearly succeeding at it, a leadership crisis engulfed his Labour Party, threatening to tear it apart. And just as that crisis seemed to be winding down, call it the morning after the night before, yet another crisis has bolted the party back onto centre stage that could yet prove to be potentially equally damaging. And that's because 5 elected members of the House of Representatives on the ticket of the Labour Party have defected to the APC, a development that can only be described as heartbreaking for Labour and one which would have left the faithful exhausted. The Labour Party has reacted by calling for their seats to be declared vacant. Well, the lawmakers say they defected because of the crisis in the party, which legally justifies their defection, according to them. Whatever it turns out to be, this is clearly now a party severely weakened, riding high and able to go toe-to-toe with the best of them just 18 months ago, shot down today by more baggage and more controversy. As one analyst put it, the name Labour Party is slowly sounding more toxic. Well, to help us dissect the latest developments around the Labour Party and what this potentially means for the future of the party, I'm joined now in the studio by a member of the Labour Party caucus in the House of Representatives, Honourable Obi Aguocha, who represents the Ikwuano-Umuahia federal constituency in the National Assembly. And it's no use laughing because, I mean, that really is that's the public perception of what is happening in your party.
Labour for life.
That is with you.
No. With all of us that believe in the ideology of Labour.
We're going to come to that.
Labour for life.
We're going to come to that. But first of all, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Was the Labour Party aware that these defections were imminent?
It's very unfortunate, Charles, that some of my colleagues decided to pull away from the Labour Party to join the ruling party. Like I said, it's very unfortunate. We are 35 members in the House of Representatives. So 5 pulled out, we still have 30 strong that believes in the ideology of Labour Party. In the Senate, we're 8 senators. 1 pulled out, so we still have 7 strong senators that believes in the ideology of Labour Party. So whether they pulled out for their own personal interest, that is for their constituents and for the people to determine.
Well, it's also for the Labour Party to determine.
Well, Labour Party
is threatening to take action.
No, Labour Party has remained and will remain a formidable platform to wrest the power of the presidency and power in the state from APC and PDP. We demonstrated that in the last general election by actually winning the election. But then the dynamics in Nigeria, the establishment in Nigeria taught it otherwise to ensure that Peter Obi never became president. But I can assure you today, going forward, the Labour Party is strong by its own to move on a path that will show that Labour Party is still a formidable platform, is still a formidable party, is still a party that cares for the generality of the people, a party that will bring a different dynamics to the governance structure of Nigeria.
Well, that sounds very theoretical. Because
it's not theoretically. We have a governor already.
In practice, that's not what's happening in the Labour Party.
No. You only fixated, Charles. You only fixated.
Well, we're fixated
on only 5 decampment.
No.
And being celebrated in a turnaround manner that especially the APC are saying this because of. It demonstrates that Peter Obi is still a formidable opponent.
We're not fixated with 5 people defecting.
Well, why is it that you're not celebrating one PDP person that left with 5 Labour Party members?
Can I say this? Okay, we're not fixated with 5 people who defected. We are assessing the additional impact of the departure of 5 people to the already existing crisis within the Labour Party?
There's no crisis.
But I'm going to get to that. I want to take this systematically, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Why do you think those 5 defected? I mean, you know them, you work with them.
They're my colleagues. And I would not say ill of my colleagues.
Well, it's not about saying ill, it's about knowing why they defected.
In a personal decision they took. Some of them have explained their actions in the public domain. And part of what they said was that there is a perceived division in the Labour Party. There's no political party, especially the top 3 in Nigeria, that don't have any issues that are mitigating circumstances within the party. APC has their own problems. PDP has their own problems. The Labour Party, of course, we have our own problems. But the most important thing is that the leadership of the Labour Party have remained steadfast. His Excellency Peter Obi, His Excellency Alex Otti, in finding solutions to the problems that we have in the Labour Party. Yes, our matter has gone through the High Court, is on appeal. We believe that by the time the court makes a determination as to the direction of the party, then all of us will now know the direction to move. But by way of the determination of the court, Julius Abure, by determination of the court, whether right or wrong, is the chairman of the party. So there's no division.
Yeah, I will come to that in a minute, but let's just deal first of all with these defections. I mean, you, as I said, you know these people. I mean, they were your party members, they were members of your caucus, you talk with them, I presume some of them are your friends, so you must know why they, I mean, I'm wondering how much this is about 2027. And the feeling that these House members aren't sure where the Labour Party will be by then, because that is part of the public discourse that's taking place around their departure. They are not sure where the Labour Party will be by then and how damaged it might be from its internal squabbles and its self-inflicted political wounds. I mean, is that something that you've come across
it is not.
As to one of the reasons why they left?
From my assessment,
right.
From my assessment and discussions with them, politics is dynamics. Most of these Labour Party people came from states and came from the cocktail of Peter Obi, having run an impressive campaign all across the country. Now, unfortunately, most of these Labour colleagues of mine are also coming from states that do not have a Labour Party government. So it's also an issue of their own self-survival.
So they feel under pressure.
They probably feel under pressure. That the election for 2027 is going to be very difficult for them without a helping hand from the state governments.
Well, if we take off from what you're saying there, I mean, none of the other people have a governor who is Labour.
That's exactly the point I'm making.
So the expectation would be that this gale of defections from the Labour Party will continue to blow hard.
It would not, because if we would have, a whole lot of states that has the Labour caucus that don't have governors would have told the same direction with these 5.
Well, you're saying would have. I mean, there's still a lot of time.
They've made it absolutely clear. Just like I have made mine absolutely clear.
Well, yours may be different because your governor is Labour, so you don't have that pressure.
No,
but a lot of Nigerians will say, well, we don't really trust the word of politicians anyway.
My governor is Labour, but my governor is also looking out for the best interest of all Labour elected officers all across the country.
Yeah, but do you expect more defections? And I have to ask you this, even though you've pulled back from it. Could yours be one of them?
No, I can't. I'm a Labour man for life. I believe in the ideology of Peter Obi and the ideology of Alex Otti.
What if Peter Obi
and
left
the platform,
the party?
And the platform that we ran, and the platform that we run. Well, he's entitled to talk to as many people as he wants. To be able to entice them either to come to Labour Party, to wrest power from the government of the day, to reset Nigeria, So that, you look at the situation in Nigeria, hopelessness and not enough opportunity.
I understand
Hunger.
that, but you believe in his philosophy.
I do.
Yeah, you are ideologically
I'm ideologically
connected
aligned
to
and
him,
connected to
aligned with
P2B
him.
and to Alex Otti.
Right.
And to
so if
the
he
platform
were
of the Labour Party.
So if he were to leave the Labour Party, you would follow him.
That's a hypothetical question.
Well, I'm asking you a question because you're sitting in front of me.
That's a hypothetical question that would also demand a hypothetical response.
Right.
Now, we are a political platform. We are interested in wresting power from the APC so that we can restore hope and opportunities for the Nigerian people, to be able to ensure that there are adequate security, to be able to ensure that people can wake up in the morning rather than go through hunger, high inflations. Children go to school and don't have an opportunity to be gainfully employed. Nobody is happy. Even the APC people are not happy.
Yeah, but some would argue
with the current situation in Nigeria.
Some would argue that the point.
So if we have to form a coalition, Charles, to ensure that we have the adequate provisions in place,
right,
to achieve a political success.
You would subscribe to that
Why
coalition.
Not?
Right.
Why not? After all, APC was a coalition.
Indeed.
That subscribed to an ideology that wrested power from PDP. So I do not see it extraordinary that if Labour Party comes together with some other like-minded Nigerians and who are committed and determined to do the right thing for once in Nigeria, then why not?
Well, let's for the moment stick with the Labour Party because, as you yourself mentioned, hypothetical scenarios are hypothetical, and therefore what you're talking about is hypothetical, but what is real is the Labour Party of today. And the Labour Party has picked upon what they say is the clarity of the Nigerian constitution over defections. That when you are elected on the platform of one party...
It was Section 68 and Section 109.
And when you defect to another party, there must be division in that party at the national level.
There are no division in Labour Party, and the ambiguity of Section 68 and 109 is subject to various interpretations by various people.
Yeah, well, it's that interpretation that
so,
we're
but
talking
Labour Party has said, equivocally, that they will explore every opportunity to look at Section 68 and Section 109
So basically, you're trying to get those defectors to lose their seats.
Why not? That's what the Constitution says.
And your argument is that there isn't the kind of division and crisis in the Labour Party
that will warrant
legally justify their defections.
Of course.
Right.
That warrants them leaving on the basis of a division.
Right.
Now, like I said, Section 68 is quite specific. There are thresholds that has to be met for division to be applicable to be justifiable for Labour Party colleagues of mine to have left.
But the Supreme Court,
there's this none.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court made it clear that the division in a party must not be at the local level, but at the national level.
Even at the national level, do we have a division,
well,
Charles? I mean, from what you know as a renowned,
well, I mean, the division
as a renowned journalist,
well, the division,
as a man about people,
the division,
do you think we have a division in Labour Party?
Well, that's for a court of law to decide. But the point is that the division that they are citing is not a division in Imo State, in what do they call it, Abia State.
No, it's a mirage.
It's a division at the national level over leadership with Julius Abure.
We're saying the same, Charles.
Right.
I just said to you now that by the determination of the court, Julius Abure is the chairman. That's what the court says, until a higher court says otherwise.
Right.
And it doesn't mean also that those who are challenging Abure don't have any constitutional right to do that. They do. So,
but that means that the division is still festering.
No, there's no division.
There's
no division. That two people went to court.
Challenging.
They're challenging. Their challenge could be on other fundamental issues that does not deter or diminish that Labour Party is not one. Labour Party is one. P2B is still the leader of Labour Party. Alex Otti is still a leader in Labour Party. But they have not deviated from Labour Party.
But the point is that whether or not it can be legally established that the disputes that you've had in the Labour Party, the kind of dispute that has led to almost riots. There have been, battles at the. I'm serious. Yeah, there was a time when people were charging the headquarters, where they were having meetings and all that kind of thing. There were virtual attacks being made.
These are things that happen that shows the dynamism.
You interpret it as dynamic. I'm trying to say, I'm trying to figure out what a court of law, whether those people who defected, whether that would constitute evidence to them, to a court, that there is division within the Labour Party at the highest level.
Looking at Section 68
right.
and looking at Section 109, I personally do not believe that division does exist. But it's not for me to determine. Labour Party has also said that they are exploring the opportunities or the possibilities of challenging their defection in court. That is one aspect of it. Labour Party is a critical stakeholder in this regard. Now, the other critical stakeholders that apply are the constituents of these various people. So when I say that maybe the defection, except for the fragmentation of the media, making it appear,
I like that.
Making it appear that 5 Labour Party members defected to APC is a Jesus coming back to Jesus moment. Jesus has come back. It's all because P2B has demonstrated around about that he is still an influential stakeholder in the Nigerian politics. That APC is still scared of P2B. What P2B can demonstrate in the next general election. And the Nigerians have given APC by the time, if you extrapolate now to 2027, Nigerians are saying that, if by any providence that Mr. President Tinubu was elected president, which I believe, and I say it every single time, it was stolen at the back, the mandate of P2B. And if an election is held again today, P2B will win that election in a free and fair election. Well, so anytime anything happens to Labour Party, they celebrate it more. Like I said, there were 5 or 6 people that defected on the day my colleagues defected from Labour Party. Nobody's talking about the PDP defector. It's all about Labour Party because of the still significance of Labour Party in the body politics of Nigeria.
Because of the numbers who defected. Huh? Because of the number of people.
Do you know how many people that have defected from opposition parties to PDP when PDP was holding sway?
But let me
most of them in every assembly.
Yeah. Well,
probably about 50, 60 members defect from opposition party to PDP, and most also that have defected since the 9th assembly that APC came to power.
Right.
So 5 people defected from Labour Party to APC without diminishing the standing of my colleagues is quite insignificant.
Well, I wouldn't quite put it that way. The other thing, you talked quite volubly about the APC and the threat that you believe the Labour Party poses to the APC.
Look at the celebration of just 5 people leaving Labour Party.
In that respect, in that respect, do you expect that the APC, because one of the things that the Labour Party is saying that it'll do is that it'll approach the leadership of the House of Representatives and ask for those seats to be declared vacant.
In consonance with the Constitution.
Yeah, but of course the leadership of the House of Representatives is APC. Do you expect that the APC-led leadership of the House will declare those seats vacant?
If the APC-led leadership of the House of Representatives goes by the strictest interpretation of Section 68, why not? But I know that what they are doing is to accept as many people into their APC fold, which diminishes the import of an organized opposition. It weakens the strength of an organized opposition.
Well, I'm glad you concede that, because you said their defection doesn't make any difference.
No, I didn't say it didn't make any difference. I said when you just oppose it to the hype and the media, the attention given to it, 5 Labour Party of 35 defects, and we still have 30 members of Labour Party. We still have 7 senators of 8, How has that made us ineffective or inefficient?
Nobody said it was ineffectual. What we're saying is that when you add it, it's like when you do your sums. You know your arithmetic.
If you take away
let me take you back to your days in your days in government college, Umuahia. When you do your arithmetic, 1 plus 1 becomes 2, 2 plus 2 becomes 4.
I will panic, Charles.
So when you add it to the leadership crisis, you've got a problem.
I will panic when it is said the Labour Party that came into the 10th National Assembly with 35 House of Representative members and 8 senators, that we are down to 1 senator, or that we are down to 5 members of the Labour Party, then I will say, Charles, that's crisis. But if we were still maintaining above 90% of our strength, then we are still going to be engaged, rightfully so, in helping to show up and build up our democratic development.
The point, Honourable Obi Aguocha, is that you were not aware that these defections were going to happen. And you may be sitting here and not be aware that there are more defections that are imminent. No. So potentially there is an attritional, if you like, reduction, collapse of the Labour Party in those places.
Nobody defects from one party to another without making their former colleagues somewhat aware the direction that they're going.
So you were aware of it then?
The caucus was aware
right.
of the direction that they were going. We did everything possible also to dissuade them from taking that direction. But it's an individual opinion.
It's an individual choice.
It's an individual choice and decision that they made. And I respect that. Because I also understand the challenges of the political dynamisms that play within their respective states.
Indeed.
And that would also play maybe in 2027. Now, if you ask me on a personal opinion, I think it's the wrong choice to have been made. Because, Peter Obi is still a formidable person, leader in the Labour Party. So is Dr. Alex Otti. And so are most of us who have remained in the trenches for Labour Party in advocating the ideology of Labour Party to ensure, that Nigeria starts to work for Nigerians.
Well, we've got about 2 minutes or so or less left.
But in 2027,
right,
the results of these defections will show.
Right, but at the very least, would you concede that we are witnessing a time of greater uncertainty in the Labour Party as a result of these defections?
I think we're witnessing a greater time of uncertainty in the body Nigeria. Like I said, hopelessness and not enough opportunity, hunger, insecurity, the destabilization of the Naira. We're not moving forward as a country. So that should give concern to many Nigerians that actually what is happening with Labour Party. What is happening now with Labour Party is just 5 defections. And those defections, while it is unfortunate, as I said, that my colleagues that we were hoping to build a stronger opposition now decided to leave, well, I wish them well. But beyond that, Labour Party is still the platform that will bring about the freshness that we hope that will begin to make Nigeria greater again. Not this renewed hopelessness that we're having. So Labour Party continues to be a strong political party. Why is the APC afraid of Labour Party? They're afraid of Labour Party because it is the party of the common person in Nigeria, and those people are looking desperately for somebody, a beacon of light, that will change our narrative from hopelessness and not enough opportunity to where all Nigerians can actually have something meaningful to be able to help their families, to be able to be productively engaged in the country, in our economy, and otherwise minded. So the defection of 5 members, while is unfortunate for me as a member of the Labour Party, by itself does not diminish, nor rise to the level where it will suffice that Labour Party is no longer going to be the beacon of hope for Nigerians.
And on that note, I want to thank you very much.
And I did not spin you. I'm just telling you the right thing.
I like that. Well, hopefully not. Honorable Obi Aguocha is a member of the Labour Party caucus in the House of Representatives, and he represents the Ikwuano-Umuahia federal constituency
Labour for life.
in the National Assembly, and he declares himself a member of the Labour Party for life. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.